Welcome to a journey across the velvet darkness of the cosmos. Tonight, we leave the noise of the world behind and drift into the infinite silence of the stars. Let your breath slow down, let your mind expand, and listen as we explore the profound mysteries of our universe. Fact 1. The cosmic silence. In the vast emptiness between the stars, there is a silence so profound it is beyond human imagination. Unlike Earth, where air carries the vibration of sound, space is a near-perfect vacuum. This means that even the most violent cosmic explosions, the birth of stars, or the collision of galaxies happen in total, haunting stillness. Imagine drifting in that peaceful void, where the only thing that exists is the quiet light of distant suns. Pause. 15 seconds, fact 2. The ancient light. When you look up at the night sky, you are not seeing the universe as it is right now, but as it was hundreds, thousands, or even millions of years ago. Light, though the fastest thing in existence, still takes time to travel across the immense gulfs of space. The starlight hitting your eyes tonight may have begun its journey before the first humans walked the earth. You are a time traveler, witnessing the ghosts of stars that may have already faded into darkness. Pause. 15 seconds, fact 3. The pillars of creation. Deep within the Eagle Nebula, there are towering clouds of gas and dust known as the pillars of creation. These celestial structures are light years tall, acting as cosmic nurseries where new stars are slowly being born from the collapse of cold hydrogen. They stand as silent monuments in the dark, glowing with the faint, ethereal light of newborn suns, hidden behind veils of interstellar mist. Pause. 15 seconds, fact 4. The loneliness of Voyager. Man-made objects are also part of this silent history. Voyager 1, a small golden messenger from Earth, is currently hurtling through the interstellar medium, billions of miles away from home. It has left the warmth of our sun's influence and is now drifting in the cold, dark space between stars. It carries a golden record, a message of peace from a world it will never see again, moving forever through the eternal night. Pause. 15 seconds, fact 5. The diamond core of white dwarfs. Deep inside the cooling remains of a dead star, known as a white dwarf, something incredible happens. As the star exhausts its fuel and shrinks, the intense pressure can cause the carbon within its core to crystallize. Effectively, these dying stars turn into giant, planet-sized diamonds, floating silently in the dark. They are the cold, shimmering hearts of what were once brilliant suns, now resting in the graveyard of the galaxy. Fact 6. The ghostly dance of dark matter. Beyond the stars we can see, there is a mysterious substance that holds the universe together, known as dark matter. It does not emit, absorb, or reflect light, making it completely invisible to our eyes and even our most powerful telescopes. Yet its gravitational pull is what guides the rotation of galaxies, acting like an invisible cosmic glue. Imagine a silent, hidden ocean surrounding every star and planet, a vast mystery that we can feel through gravity but never truly touch or see. Pause. 15 seconds, fact 7. The Great Red Spot's eternal storm. On the giant planet Jupiter, there is a storm that has been raging for hundreds of years. Known as the Great Red Spot, this crimson vortex is larger than the entire Earth. While it looks like a violent hurricane from afar, from within the gas giant's atmosphere, it is a slow, rhythmic churning of clouds that has lasted for centuries. It is a reminder that in the scale of the cosmos, even the most powerful storms are ancient, steady, and strangely beautiful landmarks in the dark. Pause. 15 seconds, fact 8. The coldest place in the universe. Far away from any sun in the Boomerang Nebula lies the coldest known place in the natural universe. The temperature there is nearly absolute zero. the point where almost all motion stops. This nebula is a cloud of gas expanding so rapidly that it cools itself down to a level that is colder than the background radiation of the Big Bang itself. In this place, the universe is at its most still, a frozen sanctuary of quiet gas drifting in the absolute chill of deep space. Pause. 15 seconds, Fact 9. The song of the Earth's magnetosphere. Although space is a vacuum, our planet Earth creates its own invisible song. As the solar wind from the sun hits Earth's magnetic field, it creates complex electromagnetic waves. If we could hear these with our ears, they would sound like haunting whistles, deep hums, and rhythmic chirps. It is the Earth's natural shield, singing a quiet melody of protection as it deflects the solar radiation, keeping life safe and peaceful under the blanket of our atmosphere. Pause. 15 seconds, Fact 10. The infinite expansion. The universe is not just large, it is growing larger every single second. Space itself is stretching, pushing galaxies further and further apart. In the very distant future, the space between galaxy clusters will be so vast that the night sky from a planet like ours might appear completely dark, with no other galaxies visible at all. But for now, we live in a golden age of astronomy, where we can still look out and see the glowing tapestries of billions of other worlds, all slowly drifting away in an eternal expansion. Fact 11. The drifting rogue planets. Not every planet orbits a sun. In the cold, dark reaches of our galaxy, there are billions of rogue planets that have been kicked out of their original solar systems. These lonely worlds drift through the interstellar void in eternal night, with no sunrise or sunset to mark the passage of time. They are silent wanderers, moving through the cosmic ocean like ghost ships, carrying the secrets of the systems they once called home. Pause. 15 seconds, Fact 12. The Golden Record's eternal voyage. Aboard the Voyager spacecraft, there is a gold-plated copper disc containing the sounds and images of Earth. It carries the sound of rain, the laughter of a child, and music from different cultures. As Voyager drifts further into the darkness between stars, this record remains a peaceful time capsule. Even if humanity were to disappear, our voices and our stories will continue to glide through the silent cosmos for billions of years, waiting for a listener that may never come. Pause. 15 seconds, Fact 13. The weight of a neutron star. Imagine a star so dense that a single teaspoon of its material would weigh as much as a mountain on Earth. These are neutron stars, the collapsed cores of massive suns that have exploded. Despite their incredible mass, they are often no larger than a small city. They spin hundreds of times per second, acting like cosmic lighthouses, sending out rhythmic pulses of radiation into the dark, steady and unchanging like a heartbeat in the void. Pause. 15 seconds, Fact 14. The cosmic background radiation. There is a faint glow that fills the entire universe, a lingering echo from the very beginning of time. Known as the cosmic microwave background, it is the afterglow of the Big Bang itself. It is everywhere around us, in every direction of the sky, though it is invisible to our eyes. It is the oldest light in existence, a soft, ancient hum that reminds us that the universe has a beginning, and we are all part of its long, unfolding story. Pause. 15 seconds, Fact 15. The ocean of Europa. Far away, orbiting the giant planet Jupiter, lies a small, icy moon called Europa. Beneath its frozen, cracked surface, scientists believe there is a vast, liquid water ocean that contains more water than all of Earth's oceans combined. In the absolute darkness under miles of ice, this hidden world remains still and silent, a potential cradle for life in the outer reaches of our solar system. protected from the harsh radiation of space. Fact 16. The diamond rain of Neptune. Deep within the thick, swirling atmospheres of the ice giants, Neptune and Uranus, there is a phenomenon so strange it feels like a fairy tale. Scientists believe that the atmospheric pressure is so intense that it can literally crush carbon atoms into solid diamonds. Far beneath the blue-tinted clouds, it may actually rain diamonds, which slowly sink toward the planetary cores like sparkling hail in a dark, high-pressure sea. It is a silent, glittering process happening millions of miles away, where the very air transforms into precious stones in the crushing, cold depths of the outer solar system. Fact 17. The mystery of the Great Attractor. Somewhere in the vast, unmapped regions of intergalactic space, there is a mysterious gravitational anomaly known as the Great Attractor. It is so incredibly massive that it is slowly pulling our entire Milky Way galaxy, along with thousands of others, toward it at hundreds of miles per second. We cannot see what it is because it is hidden behind the thick dust and stars of our own galactic disk, but we can feel its silent, steady tug. It is a cosmic destination we are all drifting toward in the grand, quiet dance of the universe, moving toward an unknown point in the dark. Fact 18. The eternal stillness of the moon. Because the moon has no atmosphere, it is a world of absolute, unmoving stillness. There is no wind to whistle through the craters, no rain to wash away the gray dust, and no sound of life to break the silence. The footprints left by the Apollo astronauts over 50 years ago are still there, perfectly preserved in the lunar soil, looking as fresh as the day they were made. In this vacuum, time seems to stand still, and the silence is so heavy that you could hear the rhythm of your own breath if you stood on its dusty surface, looking back at the distant, fragile blue marble of Earth. Fact 19. The ethereal glow of planetary nebulae. When a star similar to our sun reaches the end of its multi-billion-year life, it doesn't always go out with a violent bang. Instead, it gently sheds its outer layers, creating a glowing shell of gas known as a planetary nebula. These shells look like delicate bubbles of neon light or colorful silk ribbons drifting aimlessly in the dark. They are the beautiful, fading memories of stars that once shone brightly, now slowly dissolving into the cosmic mist to eventually become the building blocks for future worlds and new generations of stars. Pause. 20 seconds. Fact 20. The galactic year and the voyage of Earth. Just as the Earth orbits the Sun, our entire solar system is orbiting the massive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. This journey is so vast that it takes about 230 million years to complete just one single revolution. The last time the Earth was in this exact same spot in the galaxy, the first dinosaurs were just beginning to appear. We are traveling at over 500,000 miles per hour through the void, yet the journey is so smooth and the space around us so immense that it feels like we are perfectly at rest, cradled in the eternal night of the cosmos. Fact 21. The pillars of cold hydrogen. Deep within the heart of the Eagle Nebula, there exist towering structures of gas and thus known as the pillars of creation. These are not just clouds, but cosmic nurseries where the gravity of cold hydrogen gas slowly pulls itself together to ignite the birth of new stars. Each pillar is several light years long, standing like silent, ethereal monuments in the dark. To look at them is to witness the very beginning of life in the universe, a slow and majestic process that takes millions of years, occurring in a part of the sky where time seems to lose all meaning. Fact 22. The whispering echo of the Big Bang. If you could tune a radio to the empty spaces between stations, a small percentage of the static you hear is actually the cosmic microwave background radiation. This is the oldest light in the universe, an afterglow left over from the Big Bang itself, nearly 13.8 billion years ago. It is a faint, cooling hum that fills every corner of the sky, invisible to our eyes but present everywhere. It is the universe's first heartbeat, a constant reminder that we are all floating in the fading warmth of the moment everything began. Fact 23. The infinite loneliness of rogue stars. While most stars belong to galaxies held together by gravity, there are rogue stars that have been flung out into the vast, empty intergalactic void. These stars drift alone in the darkness, millions of light years away from any other celestial body. If a planet were to orbit such a star, its night sky would be almost entirely black, with no Milky Way or neighboring galaxies to light the way. These stars are the ultimate wanderers, solitary lanterns burning in the infinite, silent ocean that lies between the islands of light we call galaxies. Fact 24. The time dilation near a black hole. According to the laws of physics, time is not a constant. It bends and stretches with gravity. Near a massive black hole, gravity is so strong that it actually slows down the passage of time compared to Earth. If you were to hover just outside the edge of a black hole for what felt like an hour, years or even decades could pass for the rest of the universe. This time dilation means that the universe is full of different pockets of time, where some parts of space are aging slower than others, resting in a deep gravitational slumber. Fact 25. The silent supernova remnants. When a massive star reaches the end of its life, it disappears in a brilliant explosion called a supernova. But even after the light fades, it leaves behind a supernova remnant, a beautiful, expanding shell of gas and heavy elements like gold, oxygen, and iron. These remnants look like delicate lace or colorful silk ribbons drifting through the stars. They are the dust from which new planets and even our own bodies are made. We are quite literally made of the quiet, shimmering remains of ancient stars that died long before our sun was born. Fact 26. The Great Void of Boötes. In a specific patch of the northern sky, there lies a region of space so vast and so empty that it defies all cosmic logic. Known as the Boötes Void, or the Great Nothing, this massive spherical expanse is nearly 330 million light years in diameter. To put that in perspective, if our Milky Way were located in the center of this void, we wouldn't have known other galaxies existed until the middle of the 20th century. It is a place of absolute, haunting solitude, a silent ocean of darkness where stars are so few and far between that the light of one galaxy may never reach another. It is the ultimate sanctuary of stillness in an otherwise crowded universe. Fact 27. The ghostly passage of neutrinos. Right now, in this very moment of quiet, billions of tiny particles called neutrinos are passing through your body, your room, and the entire Earth every single second. They are born in the nuclear furnaces of distant stars and during the violent collapses of supernovae, yet they have almost no mass and no electric charge. Because of this, they move through solid matter like ghosts passing through a mist. They are the invisible whispers of the cosmos, a constant, silent stream of energy that connects you to the heart of the sun and the furthest reaches of the galaxy, all without you ever feeling a single touch. Fact 28. The frozen shadows of Mercury. Mercury is a planet of extreme and silent contrasts. On the side facing the sun, temperatures are hot enough to melt lead, but on the dark side, it is frozen in a deep, eternal chill. Because Mercury has no atmosphere to trap or distribute heat, the transition between light and shadow is sudden and absolute. In the deep craters at its poles, where the sun's rays have not reached for billions of years, there are vast deposits of water ice. These frozen shadows remain undisturbed, resting in a quiet, dark sanctuary that has seen no change since the early days of our solar system. Fact 29. The rhythmic pulse of pulsars. Deep in the graveyard of dead stars, there are objects known as pulsars, neutron stars that spin with incredible speed. As they rotate, they emit beams of intense radiation from their magnetic poles, much like a cosmic lighthouse. Some pulsars spin hundreds of times every second with a precision that rivals the most accurate atomic clocks on Earth. If you could listen to them, they would sound like a steady, rhythmic heartbeat echoing through the void. They are the ticking clocks of the universe, marking the passage of time in the dark with a silent, unwavering pulse that continues for millions of years. Fact 30. The ancient dust of comets. Comets are the drifting time capsules of our solar system, composed of primordial ice, dust, and rock that have remained unchanged since the planets were first born. For most of their lives, they exist in the Oort cloud, a cold, dark shell at the very edge of our sun's influence. When a comet occasionally wanders into the inner solar system, its ice turns to gas, creating a long, ethereal tail that glows in the sunlight. But once it retreats back into the dark, it becomes a silent, frozen relic once again, carrying the original chemical secrets of our beginnings across the lonely, quiet reaches of space. Fact 31. The giant water reservoir in space. In the far reaches of the universe, astronomers have discovered a cloud of water vapor that is so massive it contains 140 trillion times more water than all of Earth's oceans combined. This celestial ocean is not held in a planet's basin, but floats as a massive, ethereal mist around a distant, glowing quasar. It is a reminder that the basic ingredients of life, like the water we drink, are scattered throughout the cosmos in breathtaking quantities, waiting in the cold, silent dark, billions of light years away from our small blue home. Fact 32. The slow death of a white dwarf. When a star like our sun finally exhausts its nuclear fuel, it collapses into a small, dense core known as a white dwarf. This star no longer creates energy. It simply sits in the dark, slowly radiating its remaining heat into the void. This cooling process takes trillions of years, longer than the current age of the entire universe. Eventually, it will fade into a black dwarf, a cold, dark cinder of a star that no longer shines. It is the ultimate stage of stellar peace, a silent ember resting in the eternal graveyard of the galaxy. Fact 33. The music of the spheres. Although space is a vacuum and human ears cannot hear sound there, space is far from quiet in a different sense. Every planet and star emits radio waves and electromagnetic vibrations. When NASA converts these waves into sound, they sound like haunting, ambient melodies. The deep hum of Jupiter, the eerie whistles of Saturn's rings, and the rhythmic thumping of pulsars. It is a silent orchestra, a music of the spheres that has been playing since the dawn of time, heard only by the instruments we send into the dark. Fact 34. The vastness of the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. The universe is organized into massive structures, and the largest one ever discovered is the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. It is a giant filament of galaxies that stretches for over 10 billion light years. This structure is so immense that it challenges our understanding of how the universe grew. It sits as a silent, invisible skeleton of the cosmos, a vast web of billions of stars and planets all connected by the invisible threads of gravity, spanning across the unimaginable reaches of the deep night. Fact 35. The loneliness of the Boötes void. Imagine a space so empty that if you were standing in the middle of it, you would see nothing but blackness in every direction. This is the reality within the Boötes void. While most parts of space are filled with clusters of galaxies, this region is nearly empty for hundreds of millions of light years. It is the quietest corner of the Kainat, a place where the expansion of the universe happens in total isolation, far away from the glowing lights and chaotic energy of the galactic neighborhoods we call home. Fact 36. The invisible bridges of the cosmic web. The universe is not just a collection of random stars. It is organized into a massive, invisible structure called the cosmic web. Imagine vast, thin filaments of dark matter and gas that stretch across the emptiness, connecting galaxies like shimmering silk threads in a giant spiderweb. Along these invisible bridges, rivers of cold hydrogen gas flow silently, feeding the growth of new galaxies. It is a silent, grand design that spans billions of light years, a hidden architecture that holds the entire Kainat together in a peaceful, gravitational embrace, far beyond the reach of our strongest telescopes. Fact 37. The ghostly rings of Haumea. In the cold, dark outskirts of our solar system, far beyond the orbit of Neptune, lies a strange, egg-shaped dwarf planet named Haumea. What makes this distant world truly haunting is its thin, icy ring, a feature usually reserved for giant planets like Saturn. This ring is made of tiny, frozen particles that orbit the planet in total silence, millions of miles away from the warmth of the sun. It is a lonely, shimmering halo in the outer darkness, a reminder that even the smallest and most distant worlds carry their own unique beauty, hidden in the eternal chill of the Kuiper Belt. Fact 38. The slow evaporation of black holes. Even the most powerful and terrifying objects in the universe, black holes, are not eternal. According to the theories of Stephen Hawking, black holes slowly leak a tiny amount of radiation over vast periods of time. This Hawking radiation means that over trillions and quadrillions of years, a black hole will slowly lose its mass and eventually evaporate into nothingness. It is a process so slow that it is almost immeasurable, a quiet, cosmic vanishing act that ensures even the strongest gravitational prisons will one day return their energy to the silent void of space. Fact 39. The ancient ocean of Earth's atmosphere. Every breath you take connects you to the history of the stars. The oxygen in our atmosphere was created inside the hearts of massive suns that exploded billions of years ago. Our atmosphere acts like a thin, protective ocean of gas, shielding us from the harsh vacuum of space and the silent bombardment of cosmic rays. As you drift towards sleep, imagine this blanket of air as a soft, invisible shield, keeping the world warm and quiet while the infinite, cold universe watches from above with its billion twinkling eyes. Fact 40. The Great Conjunction of Galaxies. In about 4 billion years, our Milky Way galaxy and the neighboring Andromeda galaxy will begin a slow, majestic collision. But because space is so vast and stars are so far apart, individual stars will likely never hit each other. Instead, the two galaxies will pass through one another like ghosts, their gravity pulling and stretching them into new, beautiful shapes. It will be a silent, multi-billion-year dance that will eventually create a new, even larger galaxy. It is a reminder that in the Kainat, endings are often just the slow, quiet beginnings of something much more grand. Fact 41. The silent heart of the Milky Way. At the very center of our galaxy lies a sleeping giant, a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A. It is 4 million times more massive than our sun, yet it remains invisible, hidden behind thick clouds of cosmic dust and gas. Around it, stars dance in incredibly fast orbits, caught in its powerful gravitational pull. Despite its immense power, It sits in the dark center of our galactic home in total silence, a mysterious anchor for the billions of stars that spiral around it in the velvet blackness of space. Fact 42. The crystalline core of dead stars. When a star much like our sun reaches its final stages, it leaves behind a core known as a white dwarf. Over billions of years, as this core slowly cools in the absolute zero of space, the carbon and oxygen inside begin to crystallize. Effectively, these dead stars turn into giant, planet-sized diamonds floating in the dark. They are the cold, shimmering jewels of the cosmos, remnants of ancient suns that once provided light and warmth, now resting as silent, sparkling monuments in the eternal night. Fact 43. The pillars of infrared light. Beyond what the human eye can see, the universe is filled with infrared light, a soft, warm glow that reveals hidden nurseries of stars. In the famous pillars of creation, while the visible dust looks dark and solid, infrared telescopes see right through the clouds to find thousands of newborn stars twinkling inside like distant candles. This hidden universe is always there, pulsing with life and heat, reminding us that even in the darkest, most opaque corners of space, there is light and birth happening in a quiet, invisible rhythm. Fact 44. The great void of Eridanus. There is a spot in the cosmic microwave background radiation that is significantly colder than everything around it, known as the CMB cold spot. Some scientists believe this could be a supervoid, a region of space so unimaginably empty that it contains almost no galaxies or matter at all. It is a vast, chilly desert in the sky, spanning nearly 1 billion light-years. To think of such a place is to imagine the ultimate peace, a region of the kainat where the expansion happens in total, undisturbed loneliness. Fact 45. The frozen atmosphere of Pluto. Pluto, the distant dwarf planet, has an atmosphere that behaves like a living thing. When Pluto moves further away from the Sun in its long, 248-year orbit, its thin atmosphere of nitrogen and methane actually freezes and falls to the surface as snow. For decades at a time, Pluto becomes a world of absolute stillness, its air resting as a thin layer of frost on its icy mountains. It is a world that breathes in and out over centuries, waiting in the dark for the distant sun to return its warmth. Fact 46. The galactic habitable zone. Just as there is a perfect distance from a star for life to exist, there is also a habitable zone within the galaxy itself. If a solar system is too close to the center, the radiation is too intense. If it is too far at the edges, there aren't enough heavy elements to build planets. Our sun sits in the perfect, quiet suburbs of the Milky Way, a peaceful, stable region that has allowed life to flourish for billions of years. We are tucked away in a safe, golden corner of the universe, protected by the vast distances of the cosmic sea. 47. The slow spin of Venus. Venus is a planet that refuses to be rushed. It rotates so slowly on its axis that its day is actually longer than its year. While it takes 225 Earth days to orbit the Sun, it takes 243 days just to complete one single rotation. On Venus, the Sun rises in the west and sets in the east, moving across the thick yellow clouds with agonizing slowness. It is a world where time has a different meaning, a place of crushing pressure and eternal heat that remains locked in a slow, heavy rhythm. 48. The dust of ancient supernovae. Atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than the atoms in your right hand. When stars explode as supernovae, they scatter their enriched guts, elements like calcium, iron, and gold, across the galaxy. This dust eventually settles into clouds that form new planets and eventually people. You are a walking collection of stardust, a way for the universe to know itself. As you sleep, remember that you are not just in the universe, but you are a part of its very fabric, born from the quiet remains of ancient suns. 49. The cosmic horizon. There is a limit to how much of the universe we can ever see, called the cosmic horizon. Because the universe is expanding and light takes time to travel, there are galaxies whose light will never reach us, no matter how long we wait. They are moving away from us faster than the speed of light. These distant worlds are part of the unobservable universe, a vast, infinite territory that we can only dream of. It is a reminder of the infinite scale of the kainat, where most of the story is written in chapters we will never be able to read. 50. The eternal silence of the future. In the very far future, trillions of years from now, the last stars will eventually exhaust their fuel and fade into darkness. The universe will enter an era known as the Dark Era, where only black holes and cold cinders of stars remain. But even in that ultimate twilight, there is a profound peace. In the infinite cradle of space,